Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're talking about a piece of technology that's kind of the unsung hero in so many businesses, Oracle Integration Cloud. The best way to think about it, it's like the digital glue that holds a company's entire universe of applications together. So let's dive in.
Okay, just think about this for a second. Seriously. You've probably got a sales app, a finance system, an HR portal, maybe an e-commerce site, right? They all hold these little islands of critical information. And if they aren't talking to each other, well, you've got chaos. You get people doing manual data entry, you get mistakes, and you have absolutely no single source of truth. It's a mess. So, how do you fix that chaos? Well, the modern answer is a category of software called iPaaS. That's Integration Platform as a Service. You can think of it as a universal translator and a traffic cop for all your business apps, all running neatly in the cloud. It's built from the ground up to solve this exact problem.
And that brings us right to our main topic. Oracle Integration Cloud, or OIC as you'll hear it called, is one of the real heavyweights in this iPaaS world. But here's the key. It's not just about connecting app A to app B. Nope, it's a complete, unified suite for totally transforming how your business operates in the digital world.
So, here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll really unpack that digital glue idea. Then, we'll look at its engine, what I like to call the 3 pillars of power. After that, we'll peek under the hood at the anatomy of an integration. And finally, we'll see the kind of real-world impact this all has. Right. Let's start with that core idea. When we say OCIC is the digital glue, what we really mean is that it's the quiet, powerful service running in the background, creating these seamless, automated flows of information between all the different systems your business totally depends on.
But how does OIC actually pull all of this off? To get that, we need to look at its core architecture, its engine.
And it's all built on 3 powerful, interconnected components. 3, that is the magic number here. If you can think about OIC in terms of these 3 pillars, you'll instantly get a handle on its full potential. So let's break them down one by one.
All right, pillar number 1, the foundation of it all, integration. This is the core data moving engine. It uses these pre-built connectors called adapters to talk to basically anything, from a modern cloud app like Salesforce to an old school database sitting in your server room. And the cool part? You visually map the data. You literally just drag a customer name field from one system and drop it onto the client name field in another. It's incredibly powerful, but also surprisingly intuitive.
Now, building on top of that, we get to the second pillar, process automation. This is for when you need more than just moving data around. This is for orchestrating an entire business workflow. Think about a simple purchase order. It doesn't just go from A to B, right? It probably needs approval from a manager. And hey, if it's over, say, $10,000, it might need another approval from finance. This pillar is what handles all that complex logic, including all the human steps along the way.
And that brings us to the third pillar, Visual Builder. Okay, so you've used pillar 1 to connect your data and pillar 2 to automate the workflow. But what if you need a custom screen for your employees or even your customers to interact with all that data and all those processes? Well, that's exactly what Visual Builder is for. It's a low-code tool that lets you rapidly build slick web and mobile apps right on top of the powerful foundation you've already built. Okay, so we've seen the 3 main pillars. Now let's just quickly peek under the hood of that first pillar, integration, and look at the actual building blocks that a developer would be working with.
Let's just quickly run through the key terms. The integration itself is the whole workflow you're building. To build it, you use adapters, which are like those universal power plugs for specific applications. Now, once you configure an adapter with your username and password, it becomes a connection. And finally, the mapper is that awesome visual drag and drop tool we were talking about, where you actually line up all the data fields. And look, building one of these flows follows a really logical 4-step pattern. You set up your connections to the source and target systems, you build the flow by dragging and dropping things around, you map the data visually, and then you hit activate and test it out. The whole thing is designed to be fast and clear.
Okay, so we've covered the what and the how. But now for the most important part, the so what, right? Why does a business actually invest in a platform like this? Let's look at some real concrete examples.
This one is a classic, and it's absolutely critical. When a salesperson closes a big deal in their CRM system, you want that information to instantly and automatically create an invoice in your finance system. OIC makes that happen. It slashes invoicing errors, it gets rid of all that painful manual reconciliation, and it just dramatically speeds up the entire quote-to-cash cycle.
Or what about hiring a new employee? Just think of the journey their data has to take. It needs to go from the recruiting system to the main HR system, then over to payroll, then over to IT so they can get a laptop. OSC automates that whole chain reaction, cutting down onboarding time from days to just a few hours. That means your new employees are productive from day one.
And for anyone in retail, this is massive. The second a customer clicks buy on your website, OIC can kick off a workflow that checks inventory, notifies the warehouse to pack the order, and updates the supply chain system. This is the engine that powers a great customer experience and helps prevent those awful out-of-stock surprises after someone is already paid.
You know, one of the biggest strengths of OIC is that it's built for the real world. And in the real world, very few companies are 100% in the cloud. Most have this mix of modern cloud apps and older legacy systems running on premises. OIC was designed specifically to be the bridge that securely connects both of those worlds, letting you modernize your business at your own pace.
So if you only take one thing away from all this, let it be this right here. Oracle Integration Cloud isn't just a single tool for a single job. It's a single, unified platform that gives you the power to connect your applications, automate your business processes, and build new digital experiences on top of it all. Connect, automate, and build.
And that really just leaves us with one final question to think about. Now that you've seen what's possible, what's that one repetitive, error-prone manual process in your world that is just begging to be brought into this connected, automated future? Chances are there's an integration